Straight Up with Cam and Chris. On today's show, we're going to be recapping last night's NFL opener between the Atlanta Falcons and the Philadelphia Eagles. So we're also going to be breaking down a few key games for this Sunday's NFL Week 1. And we're going to be showing a few highlights. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about Le'Veon Bell today on the show as well. So I hope you're sitting tight, looking forward to hearing us and talking with us, commenting with us. Please feel free to comment right there on Instagram. Already start the show. So coming into the show, brother, we were going to go in with Week 1 talking about these Eagles and these Falcons.
That last night's game, man.
Last
night's game was the fucking worst, man. Let's start off right there, man.
Alright, what you got? We got Nick Foles. How many yards did Foles have, first of all?
Nick Foles, how many yards did he have? Let's see. Nick Foles had 117 yards, an interception. He was sacked twice. He completed 19 for 34. So
now that we speaking about what we talked about on yesterday's show, how we thought the Eagles had this chemistry somewhat built up. But watching this game last night, I didn't see an ounce of chemistry.
They don't have the chemistry. What they do have is great coaching. They have great play calling and coaching.
Right.
That coach for the Eagles, that guy is top 5 coaches in the league by far.
Because last night, I do believe that Atlanta Falcons should have won that game. And the reason I say that is only because you have these Atlanta Falcons. Matt Ryan, first of all, came out and he only threw for 251. But in the first quarter, you got the Falcons in the red zone within the 10-yard line of the opponent twice.
They had every opportunity to win this game.
Both possessions, they
got to the red zone 2 times in a row.
And first time they fell on 4th down, crazy. Because the running back is stuffed goal on a sweep.
That's crazy.
They thought they had the confidence.
Why are you even trying to run in with Devontae Freeman?
He's no between the tackles.
He's not in between the tackles running, man.
But the thing is, they thought that they could possibly outrun the
Eagles Super Bowl champions.
The Super Bowl defense.
That's the type of shit that we be talking about, man. You gotta also people don't be thinking, man.
You gotta also remember though that the Falcons are playing without Shanahan, who was their OC.
I mean, to be honest, the Falcons look like the same team I've seen for the past 5 years, bro.
That's a fact.
I haven't seen any change with the Falcons. The Falcons are this great offensive hot team. They come out, they have all these explosive weapons. Let's go, all that rah-rah. Next thing you know, when it comes to game time, when it comes to serious situations, the Falcons are nowhere to be found. They throw the same plays every single time. If you're going to run the same play or throw it to the same receiver every single possession, this is what's going to happen.
But let's talk about that receiver, though. If you got Julio Jones lined up as your number 1 receiver, I'm like, shit, I'm slinging the ball.
You slinging it to him, right?
And I mean, you got to think about the only issue that they had with that slinging the ball is that they could not sling the ball into the red zone, into the end zone.
They couldn't get into the end zone. They have no red zone chemistry.
They
have no red zone plays.
The final score was 12-18.
It was, 18 to 12. That's
terrible. That's Super Bowl champions.
Come on, man.
What did we have them putting up? We had them putting up, 28 points, I think? He was to put up 28 points last night.
I think so. I think it was like 28. I think I said it was like 28-14 or something like that.
How do you think Ajayi's performance was dealing with the foot injury?
It was decent, bro.
Yeah.
I think he was battling through it. I think the other guy, Clement, he was running pretty tough.
He was running pretty tough. Thing that Ajayi, he had 15 carries, 62 yards, 2 touchdowns.
That's not bad.
Those 2 touchdowns were the Eagles' only touchdowns in the game, if you think about it. So thinking about that, it's like, I mean, the kid balled.
Yeah.
Off a foot injury. As a running back.
Off a foot injury? Hey, man, I'll take it.
I'll take it, too.
I'll take it.
What happened to Carson McKinley for the Falcons defense? He got injured yesterday.
He ended up getting injured.
We saw Darren Sproles come through. One thing I noticed late in the 4th quarter was that the Eagles they started to run that screen option. I mean, screenplay a lot to Darren Sproles.
Yeah, man.
A lot of drop back and straight up to Darren Sproles off the side. But he was picking up yards at first. And actually, that's what they did with that possession. They did a screen twice back to back to Darren Sproles, and then they ran the ball into the other side of the field with Jay Ajayi. And that's what gave him his second TD that night.
Alright.
I'm gonna take a look. Oh yeah, this was a big issue. Those Eagles lack of receivers.
Oh man, yeah. I think that the Eagles, this is like the worst game they're probably gonna play all season
By far.
and it's kind of scary that the fact that they were missing all their receivers,
Literally all.
and they still balled out the way they did. They just ran the ball and ran screens all game.
Literally, bro.
That's what
For
they
your
were.
quarterbacks to only have 117 yards.
Yeah.
That's all you could have done.
You dropped the ball, you ran screens. Yeah, that's true.
That's actually all you could have
That's
done
true,
was
man.
run screens and throw the ball off.
You couldn't be throwing down the field. You was
No.
throwing right here, side to side, all us. Yeah.
To us.
So Alshon gets back, Carson Wentz gets back. This offense could become very dangerous.
You think they're playing Carson Wentz next week, or how are things looking? You think
I think he might come back maybe week 4.
week 4?
Yeah.
Why are you thinking week 4?
I think they're gonna give him even more time to rest.
Yeah, I think he might be cleared to play right now too.
He might be.
But they're doing the Kawhi Leonard. I think he may be cleared to play, but we're gonna move a little along in the show. Actually, who the Eagles have coming up? The Eagles are playing Tampa next week.
Eagles play Tampa next week. I think that's another win for the Eagles.
You think so?
Yeah.
And the Falcons are at home versus the Panthers.
That honestly, man.
Who's
I think
next?
Falcons are coming up 0-2.
0-2.
0-2.
You think they're coming up 0-2?
0-2.
Alright, Chris is calling the Falcons at 0-2 going into next week's game. That'll be, I believe, the 16th. Falcons, Panthers, Eagles, Buccaneers. We're gonna move right along. Let's get into some action for Sunday. Pittsburgh and Cleveland.
Okay. Pitt and Cleveland.
Pittsburgh, Cleveland.
Oh man, Pittsburgh, Cleveland. What's the top stories for this game? Obviously, we got my man Big Ben here, AB. We got Le'Veon Bell. This guy is not playing. I don't know when Le'Veon's coming back.
They're talking about week 10, but right. And another funny thing about this Le'Veon not being here is the simple fact that with Bell out, the Steelers are slacking super hard at their running spot.
Yeah,
that spot now.
Honestly, man, I don't think that they're going to be running the ball no more.
Who's coming in for them off the bench? I mean, starting
James Conner, James Conner, yeah, that's what it is.
James Conner. Let's see, he had 32 touches last year, finished with 144 yards and no touchdowns.
They passing the ball all game, man. It's gonna be what you saw last night with Atlanta passing it to Julio.
Exactly.
That's exactly what you're gonna see for this Pittsburgh game.
That's exactly how we're looking forward to it.
They passing it straight to Antonio Brown. Cleveland's not gonna stop him.
No, that's the annoying thing. They know they're going to be throwing the ball to AP, but they know they're not going to be able to.
Nobody can stop AP. This guy's the best route runner in the league.
Watching his highlight little tape last night, and the guy he's a receiver.
Yeah.
He is a wide receiver, man. He is a wide receiver. With that though, do you think the Steelers made a bad thing now with giving up Martavius Bryant? Is he needed right now?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think Martavius
more than ever.
More than ever right now. Not only his size, but his speed as well is needed because now they're out of a running back.
Yeah.
Period.
Really, man.
They're out of a running back.
Yo, seriously, I feel like the Steelers and the Giants are those type of old school organizations that still like to stick to their traditional ways of running the organization, and they're trying to still play the same way they played for like the past 30 years. They just running the ball down, playing hard-nosed defense. That shit's not gonna work no more. You gotta adjust to your players, adjust to the times, man.
Let's think about it though. You got the Steelers coming with the same two players that they've had forever. Ben Roethlisberger and Mike Thomas.
Really?
I mean, so
It's
nothing to change.
Nothing really changed.
I would Ronald Thomas.
Yeah.
Thomas don't play out there, man. So they like it's either his way or the highway. That's part of the reason Big Ben is still in Pittsburgh, right? You feel Big Ben should have been out of Pittsburgh.
He should have been out.
He damn should have retired when Jerome Bettis retired. Really, he would have been a Hall of Famer at the time.
Yeah.
But man, let's see. Pittsburgh is out. Who's at home that game? I'm not for sure. But I think Pittsburgh is actually at home. Offense, Big Ben, we got AB. Who's on that Pittsburgh defense? Joe Hayden?
Joe Hayden's on that defense.
That's one of the only names that I really saw that was kind of fucked out, but Joe Hayden's shaky.
Yeah, he's a little shaky. Cleveland's team overall, they improved. Definitely.
They did.
They're not completely trash.
Where you see them improving at this year?
They definitely improved with the front line.
Okay.
They got Myles Garrett and Bradley Chubb.
Yeah.
They got Jabril Peppers at the safety.
Yeah.
He could be breaking out this season.
Okay.
They got the running backs is all the same.
Right, that's exactly right. They're running
backs on the same level. And then they got Jarvis Landry and Josh Gordon.
Everybody you just mentioned, that sounds somewhat like a little Pro Bowl team.
Right?
Just a little bit.
Right?
I ain't never heard that many names that I knew on the Cleveland Browns
roster, right? That sounds crazy. It sounds crazy on paper. It sounds so crazy. They had to give them a hard knock.
Talk about that on paper, though. Talk about that. It sounds crazy on paper because you got Flash Gordon and
Jarvis Landry.
Flash Gordon, though, for the past couple of years, he hasn't even stepped up to his potential yet. He hasn't. He's been more of an off the field scene than rather than on the field dynamite, you know.
Yeah.
Let me see. Who's running back over there in Cleveland?
The running back's Carlos Hyde.
Carlos Hyde, the former 49er. That's right. With the Cleveland Browns having Carlos Hyde as their backup, I feel like Cleveland Browns can win about maybe about 8 games this year, bro.
They could.
I feel like
they could with Tyrod Taylor.
And yeah, you look at the 3 that they have. They have Tyrod, Baker, and Drew Stanton. All 3 of those guys are starting quarterbacks somewhat, if you think about it. They could all be starting quarterbacks.
They all compete for the same position.
So what I think that the Cleveland Browns are doing is I think that the Cleveland Browns have built a team around their quarterbacks.
Okay.
And they're trying to see what quarterback is going to fit best within this team.
Exactly.
With them having Tyrod, Baker, and Stanton.
And they got, definitely Tyrod just won the position.
Right.
Like you think they playing games of Baker?
Not if Tyrod is winning, you feel me?
Yeah.
If Tyrod's winning, no games with Baker. But if Tyrod gets a few L's, he loses maybe his first 2 or 3 games as a starter, they're going to switch it up fast, I think. Because I don't think Cleveland wants to be at the bottom this year.
I don't think so.
And so I think what they're doing in that organization is they're doing everything they can to take those Cleveland Browns from the bottom of their division to the top.
Go check the schedule.
For Cleveland?
Yeah.
Let's see, Cleveland Browns schedule. Who do they have?
They got Steelers week 1, then they play New Orleans, Jets, Oakland, Baltimore, Chargers, Tampa Bay, Steelers again.
Is out of those first 8 right
Honestly,
there. You see
the Browns don't really got a chance, bro. If Baker Mayfield doesn't come back by Oakland, if Baker Mayfield doesn't start by Oakland, man, shit. I don't know what's gonna go down over there.
We got Pittsburgh, New Orleans, New York, Oakland.
All of those teams are better than you think.
I see them beating the Jets.
I don't see that happening at all. The Jets is nothing to sleep on.
I know they came up big last year.
The Jets defense is almost like the Eagles defense.
I kind of see them beating Oakland this year too, because Oakland's just a little shaky for me right now.
We'll see. We'll see how Oakland plays.
Yeah, I'm nervous about Oakland right now. I feel like Gruden's really changed everything for those boys.
Yeah, but we don't know how Gruden is. How
We don't know how those players are adjusting to him, because that's what it all is about.
And the media is running with this narrative that Gruden has messed up the team, and he hasn't started it yet.
The only thing they're saying he messed up is because he's giving away two key players within Khalil and Martavius. They didn't want to pay those two guys, and those are two guys that could have made you a Super Bowl team even more now. If Khalil Mack and Martavius Bryant going to any other team is what you want. It's like, period. Like, period. If they came to your favorite team, you for sure would be fired up in the Packers deal. Any fan would be. So just to think that you gave them to